RTA has a lot of interesting people as well as interesting projects that are just dying to be talked about. For a closer look at some of the best and brightest that our program has to offer, my name's Nick Cannito, and tonight I'm asking, what's good RTA? So for today's episode, we're taking a pit stop into the world of esports, courtesy of one of the largest and most viral events ever hosted out of the Red Bull Gaming Hub. Here to tell us a little bit more about the Campus Carball Cup, please extend a warm welcome to partners in crime, Colin Doyle and Julian Quintero-Verano.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks, my friend. How are you?
Doing quite well. Thank you for coming on to the show, gentlemen.
Always a pleasure to be on here, man.
You say that like you've been here before.
You gotta act like you've been there before if you're gonna be there,
Julian, this is our second episode.
In spirit, I was here before.
You sure were. Now, Colin and Julian, they are two fourth-year sport medians who've had an incredibly ambitious pitch for their practicum. Over the course of 2 days, they hosted an Ontario-wide Rocket League tournament right out of our very own Red Bull Gaming Hub. And they streamed the whole thing live on YouTube and Twitch. With Colin as project manager and Julian as the host, the event was a rousing success. But, first question, for the folks at home, Julian, what is a Rocket League?
What is a rocket singular?
Yes.
So Colin can definitely get into the specifics way better than I can. He's been a part of the community for a significantly longer time than me because I've only been in it for essentially the thesis project. But Rocket League, essentially speaking, for people at home who don't know what Rocket League is, it is soccer with cars. The way that the game works is the same as soccer, same as most sports, where it's you have an object, you put the object in a net, you try to outscore the other team. The only difference is that mechanically you're utilizing cars, and it changes entirely how you play compared to a traditional sports game, and it adds an entirely different skill ceiling in comparison.
So you're driving, you're shooting, and you're parallel parking, right?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta have the handbrake ready, I've seen, there's a guy at the tournament, actually, I saw him, he was in the air and he used the handbrake, it was insane. I saw the reverse lights on too, it was crazy.
Oh, that is so good to hear. So, Colin, as project manager, how did you put together your pitch for this project? Why hold a Rocket League tournament?
So that was one of the main things that I had struggled with coming into the whole process, was trying to pitch a esports project to a group of sport media professors who'd worked in...
Is that uncommon?
It's not. It's getting to be less uncommon. But for sport media, I believe it is kind of like the first actual multiplayer LAN tournament that has been pitched. So while there have been esports projects, it's more been on the documentary side of things, whereas this was actually a live event. And going into it, it was a little bit hard to figure out what angle I wanted to take to be able to pitch it with this guy to make sure that we had the same legitimacy of a normal sport media project. And I think we ended up coming out on top of that equation and really proving that esports has a place in sport media.
Why Rocket League specifically?
We were actually looking at Valorant off the top, but we ended up getting some news on the technical side from the Gaming Hub that Rocket League was actually going to be a viable option. And I personally have been playing Rocket League for 8 years and have a lot of experience in and around the Rocket League landscape. And by doing Rocket League, it meant that a lot of the personal connections that I'd made in the Rocket League, specifically media industry over the last 3 years, I was able to actually vest on and get some high-level talent and things like that to come and play and participate in the broadcast for the tournament.
That is awesome. So you already had the network, the background, so it was a lot easier to get rolling. But on the topic of rolling, do you guys have any clips you could show us from the event?
Absolutely. We have a little montage prepared of our tournament, some behind-the-scenes footage from throughout the course of the production and the tournament itself.
Awesome. Let's see it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody watching. Welcome to the 2023 MQA America's Campus Carball Cup.
Welcome everyone to the Campus Carball Cup. Looking for another attempt, getting the second touch, pass over to Dungeon, will go through, able to force it through.
Welcome to a segment we like to call Mechanics Masterclass. Hi, my name is Obi. Gaming is pretty much my passion.
Passing lanes, something they hadn't before. What a pass. Back and forth. Tic-tac-toe. Jalen in the back of the net. A beautiful passing play.
But this ball will drop, and 2.5 men who have held control for most of this game take it by the score of 4-3. I am joined here by Trizen. Trizen, congratulations on that fantastic Game 7 victory.
And Neistat are gonna be our finalists and the winners of this beautiful tournament. Upsetting all expectations, Neistat in Game 7 come in massive. They take it in such dominating fashion here.
Wow, that was a really good behind the scenes look. It is very clear that you guys put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, big shout out to our video editor on the project, Jacob, for putting that together. He was our director on the day of as well, and he did a bang up job with a lot of the content that we had for stream.
So Colin, the show days finally arrive. What were the sort of challenges that you guys faced? Did anything come up on the days of that any fires you had to put out? Oh, there's a story here.
There is a story here.
There's one major.
I think we are the only practicum in RTA history to get screwed over by Eminem.
Eminem in Fortnite.
The rapper?
Yes.
And the video game?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to need to explain this.
Yeah, so with our tournament, because Rocket League is hosted on Epic Games servers, notably also the creators of Fortnite.
Yes.
On the Saturday of our tournament, Fortnite ended up holding their big Eminem event in-game, and because of that, ended up pulling some of their servers from the back end to help with that, while also crashing their entire login system. So after about 2 p.m. on the first day, about halfway through the first day, people were no longer able to log into their Rocket League accounts to play in the tournament through Epic Games. So we had to panic install the Steam version of Rocket League on all of the computers and have players play on their Steam accounts instead of the Rocket League on Epic Games accounts. So we ended up managing to push through it, but it's like the worst possible outcome that was completely out of our hands went wrong, and we ended up coming out of it and finishing the day under an hour behind schedule. So that was a great team effort by everybody on the team to make sure that we got all of the action in, and especially you guys on desk, because when it happened, there was a very large gap of time before we were able to get things back going. That ended up being something like 40 minutes that you guys on desk just had to go off of nothing. And
while Eminem was having his virtual Fortnite concert in the background.
He was having his concert, and then in here I was this close to putting on a concert myself to waste time because it was getting hectic.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So we ended up powering through. Big ups to the desk and everybody behind the scenes as well for dealing with the production thing while I was screaming at Epic Games up in the Red Bull Gaming Hub. But yeah, that was the biggest thing that we had come up. That was completely out of our control. But the Sunday, it was much more chill and went basically exactly as we had planned. So that was good news.
I mean, yeah, of course, you only had one shot, so
Yeah.
you didn't miss your chance to blow.
Yeah.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Come on, I had to.
And I mean, to put it this way, we
Too
did.
soon? Too soon.
To be fully fair, we didn't lose ourselves, and we were able to keep our composure. So, you know, I feel like it was done very well. The second day, as Colin mentioned, went well. Everything going perfectly is something going wrong, because if you can't, as Jeff LaChapelle has stated, if you can't see the fire, that's because it's a fire you haven't found, right? But the second day, that wasn't the case. The second day that we had went so incredibly smoothly. It was kind of awkward how smoothly it was going, because we were like, okay, we're going on break, and then it'd be like radio silence in the studio, and we're like, is there anything wrong? Do we have to adjust? And they're like, nah, man, just go to the next block, I guess. Like it was really crazy how smoothly it went. So that was really nice. A lot of the fears that we had going in was, how do we keep on time? A lot of tournaments that Colin has managed before in terms of project management, tournament management. We had one last year with Curtis as well. It's very hard to maintain the timing to make sure everything continues. So the fact that Colin and the crew that he had up there did such a fantastic job to keep the games flowing, that we were able to keep our broadcast on pace, it was truly phenomenal on that second day. And it really erased a lot of the fears that we had going in. So that was a fantastic way to wrap up the tournament.
Definitely, yeah. So you already hit all these milestones on your first go-around, but what's next for Campus Carball post-practicum? Like, where are people going to be able to find out about this?
If you want to stay in touch with Campus Carball, I'm, at least myself, I'm planning on keeping the brand alive and hosting more tournaments in the future.
Yourself as well, Julian?
We'll see how it goes. As I said, my experience in Rocket League with where this is going, I think they're gonna kind of treat me a bit obsolete. But in terms of working the actual events, I've mentioned to Colin, I've mentioned to everyone, if they ever want me there just to make sure the tournaments run smoothly in the future, I'll definitely be there to help out in every way I can.
But yeah, we're trying to kind of keep it alive going forward and hopefully host at least another tournament at some point this year. And maintaining a lot of the connections that we made through the tournament to host a lot more live Rocket League events in Ontario going forward.
Awesome, yeah. Well, you know, I might suck at Rocket League, but I'm really excited to see where you guys take this project. Guys, that's been Colin Doyle and Julian Quintero-Verano from Campus Carball Cup, and now you know what's good, RTA.